welcome to another Rambling review from Adventures in TV Land. For this Rambling review, we're going to talk about Godzilla Minus One. Godzilla Minus One is sort of an origin story about Godzilla. It begins in 1945 in the last days of World War II and goes on for a couple years after that. The main person of the story, Koichi, I'm not for sure exactly how you pronounce his first name, but he is a kamikaze pilot who he doesn't go on a sortie. He ends up flying to this island where he pretends that there's something wrong with his plane. And so he wants them to have these mechanical crew look it over there. But in reality, he became frightened and he didn't want to commit the kamikaze. For those of you who don't know, because there's probably a lot of people out there who don't know and may not know the historical context, but kamikaze pilots, those were suicide pilots. They were very skilled fighters, but if you were a kamikaze pilot, that basically meant there was no return. You were going on a mission, a sortie, and you would not be returning home. You would go down with the plane to destroy the enemy in whatever means necessary. He doesn't do that, and he's on his island. When he's on this island and the plane is getting looked over, Godzilla comes out of the ocean and is rampaging throughout the island. It's not quite the Godzilla that you may have thought out before. This is a pre-nuclear Godzilla. It is a Godzilla before his powers. So the group of mechanics and the pilot, they try to fend for themselves as best they can. Tragedy occurs. The pilot, him and the lead mechanic are the only two that survive the incident. He returns home. He ends up bringing in, and there's a young lady who has an orphan child that she had basically adopted as her own. They kind of form a family of themselves. They're brought together just under circumstances. And anyway, Godzilla, there's all the nuclear tests that happen, and Godzilla becomes radioactive. He becomes nuclear. And then he ends up going and he attacks Japan, and he attacks some ships at sea. Then he attacks part of Tokyo. The government is lying to the people, the Japanese government, about what is going on, and a lot of people don't know what's going on, and the citizens end up having to take things in their own hands. I want to say this movie, yes, it is a Japanese movie. Yes, there are subtitles. This movie is the best movie I have seen in 2023. Hands down. It's better than Oppenheimer. It's better than Napoleon. The story is so well written. It engages you. It grabs you and takes a hold of you. Actors, I don't have any idea who any of these people are. They ground everything. There is a historical context to this. Yes, this is an alternate history because there is a Godzilla's around. And they keep things grounded. They keep it grounded in what was going on historically. The relationship between the characters is very real. The post-war setting, very real. This movie was made on a budget of about $15 million. That is 1/10 of what your typical Hollywood movie is nowadays, what it cost. Effects were well done. There were a lot of practical effects. It was really good. The music, the score was phenomenal. I mean, it engaged you. It's got the classic Godzilla kind of tones to it, but then there's all this other stuff that goes on. I was blown away by this film, and like I said, hands down, the best movie of 2023. The only reason maybe not to watch this movie is if you have an issue of reading subtitles. If you can do that, treat yourself. Go watch Godzilla Minus One. Yes, it is a monster movie. Yes, but it's gripping. It's a harrowing tale. Yeah, the action sequences are spread out. The monster sequences are spread out throughout the film. They're really well done. It's a kind of a feel-good movie, too. I mean, it makes you leave the theater feeling good. I mean, and this is Godzilla. He's not portrayed as being a wimp, like a man in a rubber suit. That is not the case at all here. He's portrayed as this ferocious, vicious monster that just causes chaos, really, for no reason. He's just a monster. That's what he is. He's a giant dinosaur kind of like creature that just goes on a rampage. You don't have any of this wishy-washy stuff about Godzilla being good or he's an anti-hero or anything like that in here. He's just Godzilla. I really like this movie. Like I said, it is the best movie of 2023. Hollywood could take a lesson from this. Hollywood used to make films like this. They don't anymore. They spend $300 million on films, or $250 million on 8 to 10 episodes of a TV show that are full of crappy writing and just have nothing but a message in it and a political agenda and no real people or characterization or writing or anything. This was real. This is grounded. It is a great film. If I was an Oscar Oscar voter, I would vote this movie as the best picture of the year. Even though it's a foreign film, it deserves it. So this has been another Rambling review from Adventures in TV Land. Until next time, that's a wrap.